everyone. Welcome to Overwatch. Sorry about the Rocket League game from earlier. My name is Air,
I'm CQ9.
and we're going to be going up against ONU, just like for the Smash Bros. Game earlier.
Yep.
Um,
Might be having a bit of deja vu here, seeing Valpo versus ONU and both of us here, but nope, this is Overwatch here, so not Smashy Bros. We already did that one.
so our first map this today is going to be Ilios for Control Point. Um, we're seeing some interesting team comps right now. So looking at this, I'm seeing a Doomfist. Doomfist is very interesting, honestly, for me. Um,
Looks like they're going for more of a dive comp with the Tracer Genji, Lucio, and Moira. And then it looks like Valpo is going for more of a poke style comp with a Queen. The Hanzo to access the high ground much easier. Lucio to run that Junker Queen in. And I'm guessing the sim is just for the TP, or is she
no,
gonna
Sim is.
swap?
I mean, I don't think. Oh, nope. I guess
Yep,
so.
there we go. Swap to the Mei. So
I
it
wouldn't-
is a brawly style comp with a Hanzo. I don't hate it. I like it.
Nope. I also don't hate it. We do have music on Ana, which is very nice. This is Junkfist. There's
Nope. No,
Doom.
intentionally missing the axe to not charge the Doomfist. I like that play.
This Doomfist is that ONU is being very aggressive, going after our Hanzo. Who's taking our perch up on the top.
Trying to coordinate attacks with their Genji. Genji is really low. There he goes. That is a pick for Valpo. I feel this. There we go.
Taking a little bit to actually get in those heals. Lil Flap's taking a fair amount of damage, but they're finally able to cap the point.
Ooh. Ouch. Just not quite managing to escape if they're live. Mei does go down, and the pick that Valpo had earlier is probably almost back now. So, especially as Genji.
Tracer coming back. Going to Bronco going to sleeping Doomfist with the Tracer, all on Ana, and Ana is at very low HP. There goes our tank.
Queen goes
There
down,
goes
so does Ana. Valpo does have the point for most of this fight, but down they go. There, the team fight goes in favor of ONU.
Yep.
They do take the point, although Valpo does already have 30%, which is not bad at all.
And the maid does escape with their life. We're switching over to Orisa, going to go for some more high damage taken.
Trying to shut down this Doomfist a little bit. Also, we swapped the Lucio for the Kiri. Lucio not really of much value with the Orisa and the style of comp we're running. Going for the Kiri much more value in that. I like the swaps here.
Yes. Looking at our ult economy, we both have 3 each.
Yeah, ults are coming online.
His first one.
ONU about to have every ult except the Doomfist that they just used.
Oh, and they have just used 3 of their ults right there.
So did we.
No, we only used 2.
We have used a lot of ults there.
Oh, never
Nano
mind, we
Hanzo.
use 3 now.
Interesting
3.
Nano selection. Usually Hanzo is not the pick for that, but might have just needed to keep him alive. And you know, it certainly did just that.
Yeah,
Trying to keep everyone alive here. On a huge nade being able to heal their Hanzo up through it, but does fall.
Yeah, looking at that alt swap, 3 for 3 was not looking very good right there. I don't think it was really worth so in the end, especially with that Nano at the end. I don't think that was best. Oh, never mind, going for the swap, I see. So we are switching from Ana to a Brig. Interesting choice there. I'm also seeing a Soldier. Not sure if I saw that earlier. But
Nope. We have entirely swapped comps from where we started. We are now on Brig Kiri. Brig being so good at shutting down these types of characters that they're running. The Tracer, the Genji, the Doomfist. Brig is so good at dealing with them.
Fortunately, they did get down gates, but there's not a lot they can do there.
Moira is low. Man, you run at the supports, they get low and they just say no, actually. Already had fade back. And down goes the Orisa. We are now in overtime situation. Valpo has to make a play and take the point, but they are forced to just go into the point and stagger themselves over and over just to try to get a touch. Searching for something with this Tracer, just trying to get a pick.
Going in.
Something, anything.
Trying to go in with Doomfist too. Actually kind of working.
Not able to get anything. I don't think anybody touches here. Nope.
No.
And the
go ahead.
first round does go to O and W for this point.
Score.
So looking at that,
0-1.
this comp is definitely throwing Valpo for a loop. My idea might be to keep honestly on the Doomfist, since they seem to forget. Okay, never mind. We're going off.
Okay. I like the Ana swap here. There's good high ground with some pretty good sight lines for the Ana, and I do definitely think that the Brig is needed here. The Brig is going to need to babysit their Ana quite a bit. Just a Brig just sitting next to her Ana makes her Ana so much more difficult to kill.
So much more powerful.
And it enables their Ana to actually do her job without all the flankers on her. The question is this Brig going to be able to deal with the Genji, the Tracer, and the Doomfist? But, you know, Brig's pretty strong.
Yep, this is going to be interesting. If they can at least get one pick, they should be able to do a lot better, which I think that's one thing they have been struggling with a lot. Picks have been quite a bit difficult. Atlas going down, our soldier is already down. Lil Flap's trying to get on point, but not really doing much. Wasting heat there. I don't remember.
If he can cap point, it'll be pretty big, because Valpo does look like they're losing this fight, so any capture percentage would be good, but don't think he's gonna get any. Maybe just take one on the way out.
Never mind, our
There's
Tracer
one.
is going in, trying to kill the Kiriko.
They captured point. Now it's time to get out.
Yeah.
Nope. Could not. Now you need to regroup. They got point.
So looking at this, I'm also seeing a Diva swap, which might be good.
See, here's the power of the Brig just keeping the Ana alive. Just sitting next to the Ana, pushing these flankers away. In comes the Doomfist. ONU is having some very coordinated attacks on this high ground. Wow! Huge burst kills the Kiri.
But there's not much. Oh my gosh, Harry goes down. There goes Low. 2 DPS down. Only 1 support alive. Then Moira. Then Tim.
There you go.
And now
All
we're
right.
able to take
Nice
point.
fight win for Valpo, going through the Kiri gates on the other side. So now we're looking at, with Valpo, halfway to bomb, or a little over, quarter to visor, and then every other ult is effectively online, minus the nano, but it is close enough with all the healing that they're going to get off of this Diva here, taking a lot of pressure.
Velpo did a very good job basically ult canceling Kiriko, making her ult completely useless in the grand scheme of things. Moira incredibly low, but unfortunately Ana does go down. Brig was nowhere to be seen in that moment. Now,
Tracer with no recall here. Trying to play a bit safer. Moira goes down. Very nice.
There's only 1 support. We got Brig on.
Oh, support by the way.
But only Kiriko remains. Kiriko and Genji both have to drop back.
But Valpo is holding the point here, so they have now officially taken the percentage lead. Just trying to keep it now is going to be difficult. Soldier in a little bit of an interesting position, kind of out in the middle of the point, but not terrible.
They've only had to use 2 of their ults for that fight, but going into this they have used 1. And
in comes the Coalescence Dragonblade. That's both supports. This fight is all but lost.
Yep, I would say just hold on to your ults, don't waste anything. No!
Interesting.
Yep.
I personally don't agree with that bomb. Trying to use it just as a second life is generally the best way to use that bomb, but there the fight was already done.
Yeah, I feel like, but then again, Diva does get bombed really fast. As we can see, they started out with 0% and they're already at 7%, doing nothing.
So, again, trying to take this high ground by force. I'd be interested to see what would happen if you just went around low ground. Like, it is definitely a worse position, but what would change?
Kiriko going down, Moira very low.
Ooh, Nano Tracer is going to do a lot of damage. Look at how that Doom health bar just melts down.
And then Tracer going to try and touch point. stepping off just a little bit too long.
Yeah, just trying to maximize the amount of capture percentage they have. It is a good play.
All right, going into this, we only have one more fight remaining.
And right now, we don't have a diva. She's still in her baby diva form, as the community has dubbed it. So just trying to get her mech back. If there's any time for ONU to aggress, it's now.
Yep, going into this, I think.
Got bomb back.
Rampage going down already. No pulse bomb in sight. Little Flaps already out of mech. And then we're out.
And there's another fight. They got an early pick, and they just
okay.
ran it down, which is what they should do.
Ana trying to keep them out, but Ana is still dying anyway, staggering the brig.
There's just so many angles that they're pressuring from.
Tracer's looking for a touch.
I mean, gonna have to.
Yeah, but unfortunately he's already dead. Going into this, oh, and there was another
Didn't quite get the touch.
And that's game one.
And yep, that's game one going to ONU here. So that means it is going to be Valpo's pick of map after the bans have been completed.
Yeah, looking into this, I would really like to see Valpo switch up their comp a little bit. So for that game, we actually saw Fusic, who is typically a DPS player for Valpo here, but instead he was actually playing, he was actually going support for that round. I think it might be a better idea to put, yep, already see it, already on it. Put Fusic on damage, trying to have him focus on his main thing instead of focusing on healing. That's probably the best situation for them to help nerf the Genji and the Tracer, who are getting a lot of work. Unfortunately, though, that Doomfist is going to have to fall into Little Flaps, as he's the main person who's going to be dealing with it.
I think the comp that Valpo is running was one of the better ones to use. Diva probably being the best tank there that you had the option to choose, be able to deal with some of the backline pressure, defense matrix being really good for that. The Brig pick was definitely really good. I would almost question if you swap off the Ana and go perhaps Kiriko.
Maybe.
Brig Kiriko, I feel like could be really good. It does limit your healing ability a little bit, not a huge amount. Kiri still does a lot of healing, gives you Suzu, but then it also allows the support that the Brig is protecting to have some defense of her own. She can teleport away. She could just kill them because Kiriko.
Yeah.
I think the DPS picks were okay. I like the Tracer pick. Kinda what they were trying to do was trying to just trade backlines a little bit. Whenever they went into pressure theirs, they pressured ONU's backline, which I liked. So I'm not really sure how Valpo is going to change up their character picks, but I do like the roster changes.
So since we're starting out on attack, I'm kind of expecting a Valpo special here on Scrims Row. Scrims Row is also known as King's Row. We call it Scrims Row because that's kind of what it's commonly called in the Overwatch community.
Yeah, we love this map. This map's awesome.
But anyway, so I'm kind of expecting a Valpo special here coming from Little Flaps. Even if it doesn't do much in the end, it typically throws people off. But
I'm definitely curious of what, okay, looking at what comp ONU is playing. That's what I was most curious with.
Oh, interesting. So no Valpo special well, kind of Valpo special, but it's a little bit different.
So it does look like ONU is running a okay, I was gonna say a fairly meta comp. The only weird, the kind of off meta thing that they have is the Junkrat there, but I don't think that's a bad pick at all. Trying to just spam the choke effectively. King's Row is definitely very good for that.
Looking at Valpo, I think Zarya is actually a very good thing. I think compared to all the other things, Zarya is one of the few that can really do stuff against Ram, just because of her wobble, which is getting very charged right now.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
I think Zarya is probably the best tank that you could really go into this. There's going to be a lot of spam coming down the choke, especially with Junkrat, and you can bubble a lot of that and just deal with that spam.
And Music getting a few headshots off, kind of just being forgotten about in the back. Unfortunately, Zarya has no bubbles yet, but she is getting close.
Had to bubble her Sojourn, but now she has one back. That's going to be about it. Rotating around towards backside as their Hanzo tries to deal with this Junkrat threat. Ramatra comes over to help. Down goes their Lucio. That's a big pick here. Now they don't have speed boost to back out if they need to. Junkrat is locked in that hotel. Threats on both sides of the door. Just barely escapes.
And going into this, there's quite a lot that there's not a lot that ONU can do that Valpo's got already covered. Music switching over to damage is able to pressure that Sojourn off of high ground if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
As a result of all of this, Valpo is looking heavy on the ult front. The only ones that they don't have ults in is probably the only ones are really Lil Flaps and Music technically. And Fantasy. But
What I would like to point out, just because we don't see this hero that often, is the Iari pick on Valpo. I know they walked out on it, but we didn't mention it there. It's a pretty uncommon hero pick at this point in time to see an Iari, but making quite effective use of it. I mean, I quite like Iari on attack, I feel, so. Wow, okay. They tried to get aggressive with Ramatra ult, but guess what? We have more ults to throw into this fight. We are taking this fight, and what are you going to do about it?
Also, I'm sorry, but you do not fight a max charged Nano Zarya. You did not do that.
That is a lot of damage coming out there. That was a lot of ults, but Valpo had those ults to burn, which is what was important. ONU simply didn't have the ults available to be able to counteract that. Anything like a beat or anything like that just didn't have it, and Valpo knew that, pressed their advantage as much as they could. Trying to get as much cart percentage as possible. Coming up on the overclock. Coming up on both DPS ults, honestly.
Backing up, getting a nice headshot right there. From PC going down, unfortunately. Still going in. There's 100% charge coming at that Zarya. Barely having to back off for the time being.
Ana trying to keep everybody up. She's getting chased by Ramatra, trying to keep everyone alive. It's so difficult in that situation. But can you get a pick back? How are you going to wrap this corner?
Right now, I think Valpo's best shot is probably to back off and try again later.
I think they're just waiting for Dragon. Oh, there's a pick. Hanzo moment. Just trying to get a pick.
That Sojourn going down quickly was very good. Trying to get the Lucio right now, not the best choice. Well, not the best, not like a good choice, but still very risky going into it.
Now, I think the big difference maker here is honestly going to be the Dragon Strike. Like in the Streets phase of King's Row, I mean, it's called Streets phase for a reason. It's very narrow, and these dragons cutting them off. But in comes the Blizzard. This requires a reaction that I don't know if Valpo has available. Looks like we're down one. Did take out their Lucio, but this is such a difficult spot to be. Looks like their Mei's going to go down too.
Yep, and the entire both supports backing out. Ana was already far back, and Caster seemed to get out immediately.
Alright, we do have both support ults and a grab. However, they are sitting on beat, and Valpo has to know they have this. They haven't used it yet this map. They have to know they have it.
Yep, same thing with Ramatra ult going in. They are very close. They gotta know that they have another one up there.
It's going to be difficult to get aggressive here.
Ooh, I like that play.
I love that wall. That wall saved their Iari there. Sojourn almost shot her out of the sky. But with the play, it's so difficult to aggress on a Ramatra team when you know they have Annihilation for this reason. Look at how tanky he is. Look at how much damage he's doing.
Unfortunately, Valpo had to burn a lot of ults there, going into it and still losing.
This is why Valpo burned so many ults on that first push, just to get around that corner. Because look at how difficult it is for them to get around this corner. This is why they tried to steamroll all the way through, and ONU just barely being able to hold them off has netted them so much. This entire part has all been netted just because ONU was able to just barely hold them off.
I like the Ram swap, as Ram is currently in the meta for Overwatch right now. We are looking at a fair amount of things.
And we have a
going
pick.
very soon.
That's big.
The nano boosted Ram.
This is going to get them a lot of space here. A pick plus a nanoed Ram. Yeah, you do not want to be anywhere near that. So that's going to get the cart wrapped around this corner. But now, time to get around the second corner. On a nade goes in. Does anti the Ram, but not any punish off of it.
There is the next, there is that window. Ram is getting low, but there comes the dragon going down main.
It separates their team so much. It's just Ram and May over there by themselves, but
Lucio is
they're able to get past now.
But there is still so much going on. Anacaster swapping to Bab, going down though.
And this is now no supports for Valpo. This is last fight. We're about to go into overtime, and I think that might just be simply where the story ends.
Yep, I think that is. Unfortunately, there wasn't really much Valpo could do there, but they had a very good first push. If they would have just made it that like 0.1 meter further, then they would have probably.
It really came down to that very first push on the second point, because I mean they tried to steamroll it as best they could, and they almost got it. They got it almost to the very end of the point, but OCU was able to make it back, or ONU, sorry, was able to make it back and recontest, and it ended up costing Valpo the entire second point, and we can only theorize from there how third point would have gone.
And as much as I love Zarya right now, Ram is unfortunately way too powerful for us to like not use. But I am seeing something from ONU, which does have me concerned. I see a Widow, and Widow on King's Row, not fun to deal with. Let me tell you.
Especially on the attacker side, generally what you'll do is you'll pick Widow, go up to the window, take a shot or two, look for an early pick, and then swap from there if you don't want to commit to the Widowmaker. So I wonder if that's what they're going to do. Either way, Valpo's going to have to play pretty safe for that, because getting an early pick here would be extremely detrimental to Valpo.
Exactly. Going into this, we do have both of our supports, and I do not disagree with that support.
Ooh, very nice.
Very
nice coverage on that Widow. Knew that she was probably going to be up there, and yep, there's the swap that we were talking about. I like the usage of the Ram shield to just completely block off that window.
I do really like a lot of these things, and I do like this max healing output comp for our healers going into it. Kiriko and Map are very deadly together. Well,
there's gonna be a lot of support on this team comp. I mean, double Immorphields, very high healing numbers, very high damage numbers, just very, very strong supports. There's a reason that these two supports are very good in the meta right now.
Yeah, he's having a spectacular aim, almost taking down that bat.
Very nice. May wall goes in, trying to separate the Ram off. Did get the May though. Bastion drops. Can you separate this Bastion? Turret form truly is terrifying.
Turret form was wasted, so it is interesting to see how
May goes down. So there's no DPS on the side of Valpo here, and down goes their BAP. Yeah, this is looking like a lost team fight here for Valpo. All right, well, this is pretty much what we saw the first round, and we have seen ONU do it, so we know it is possible. Just can Valpo do it themselves? They need to do what they did, or what they had done to them. That is not the best start, though. Getting picked off there, that was a dangerous 1v1 to take, and lost the duel. This could be very, very detrimental to Valpo's plan, because that May got bad spawn.
Getting that bad spawn right there is not the best thing. I am liking the Kiri going with the music, though.
Absolutely.
I'm really hoping for this ult to come out soon, as Valpo really needs to fix. They need to stop momentum.
I'm surprised that didn't hit the Ram. What an incredible shot.
Absolutely. Coming
in, getting the pick, and driving ONU all the way back, going up to the window too. Incredible shot.
Almost getting the BAP there. Very close. Maybe like 1 or like at least 1 or 2 hits away. One good headshot. One good
Now,
hit.
ONU has all their ults, and dual windows come in. There's going to be so much burst damage on the side of both teams. This is terrifying for ONU here. Oh, that window does go down, so not quite as dangerous, but still very terrifying.
Unfortunately, the maze, unfortunately, gets so much in. And
In
there
comes the
goes
beat.
Lucio.
Little Flaps goes down, just simply too much burst damage. Ram can block a lot, but not that much. And now Valpo is forced to back away. They're without a tank and about to be without a Sojourn.
And this is going to be backed up. They maybe have one more fight, and they're going to have to hold for quite some time. Looking at our Ulticom, we are seeing a Blizzard and a Gates for the side of Valpo. Both of them going to be pretty good.
It's gonna be, they're gonna have to touch. Valpo just not touching, not able to get there. So the second game goes to ONU.
Yep. This is going into a very difficult place right now for Valpo. We are going into Flashpoint. I know Academy really likes Flashpoint. We have been doing fairly decent on it sometimes. But looking at this for Varsity, will they be able to pull it off? I don't know. They're going to need a very clean.
The thing is, they're going to have to pull it off if they want to bring this back. ONU is currently up 2 maps, so this is do or die here. You either take this next point or you're done.
Yep. So, going into this, I'm kind of expecting New Junk City. What are you expecting?
Honestly, I agree. The majority of New Junk City's points are fairly open, but it's fairly open, but are some confined spaces in there, and Valpo has very much liked the extremes of the two throughout. They've either really liked the wide open spaces or really liked the confined. And Saravasa is very much the in-between, almost over and over. So I think New Junk City very much fits Valpo's strengths a bit more, and well, you're gonna have to play to that.
Yeah, looking at the comp, I am expecting kind of a brawl, but I would not be surprised if we just go meta again. This team has been able to this team is almost going meta. They're very close between the two. Meta and just slightly not meta.
Are we just wrong about it being Flashpoint? To be fair,
we haven't done this yet.
We could just pull up the list. Let me find it real quick and we will find the order.
Yeah, it could just be escort next, I guess.
Control escort, hello? Are we in the wrong order? Okay, well, they're probably going to know what's going on a bit better than we do, so we're just going to roll with it. It might be, whatever. Okay, we are going to Circuit Royale. Moving on. Alrighty.
I do not like this pick. I'm going to be honest. I don't like this pick.
I don't hate it, actually. Mostly because of what I talked about before with the New Junk City, of that Valpo has very much liked the extremes of the either-or. And this is very much a poke map. And remember, how did ONU really deal so much damage on Ilios? They had a lot of the flanking heroes, a lot of the multiple angle pressure. Well, you can't do that on Circuit Royale. There just simply aren't the flanking routes for that. And Valpo has liked these poke comps so much more. So now you can do that longer range comp that you have shown that you like without the threat of being flanked like you were. So I actually quite like this pick of Circuit Royale here. I think it really plays to Valpo's strengths and also diffusing some of the weaknesses that they've shown.
I am liking, so going with this, I really do like Fusic on the Widow. Probably going for an early pick, and then probably going to swap to a Sojourn, something that's more consistent with damage. The one thing that I am a little unknown about is maybe the Monty. 2 snipers, even at the start, is interesting. I
mean, this is definitely a good sniper map, so I wouldn't be shocked if we did stick the Widow, but I do definitely agree with you that swapping Sojourn might still be the best pick just for the more consistency.
Going into this,
Their
there's
Sigma is quite low here.
the main thing that I think has been plaguing Valpo a lot lately in these fights is just that they're really unable to secure the kills. Seeing all these like specific small like different things, like characters get incredibly low, but then they just don't get any lower than that.
We do actually see the Sigma mirrors. Sigma is so strong on Circuit Royale because of these long sight lines. He's a very good poke tank.
Their Sojourn is incredibly low in the back line, not getting healed.
Yep, our Widow did go down, and we see the swap to Sojourn. Not all that surprising here. Get the more consistent damage. And what is interesting here is we are actually seeing the Genji on ONU, which was a little bit less expected. I know they did play it in the first round, but it's just not really the map for it. But, I mean, obviously making it work here, making Valpo really struggle to get around this corner. Zenyatta on ONU really putting a lot of pressure on us. That Discord orb is just so powerful.
To be honest, though, I'm seeing more of the million five actually Sigma from the R team being the one that's taking way more damage comparatively. Unfortunately, there goes Valpo down. First fight, team kill in favor of ONU.
They did pop 2 ults for that, but look at what ONU has left. They have Transcendence to deal with whatever Valpo tries to throw at them. Transcendence, known for being the counter ult, is known for that. And then the Genji Blade for the offense, as well as the Sojourn Rail that they're going to have before this fight starts.
Yep, and we are seeing also this Sigma thing, trying to bait out that Transcendence.
No more overclock on the table for ONU. That Dragon from the off angle getting so much work done just wasn't ready for that angle. Down goes both DPS and the Kiri. That's everybody. That's all that matters.
What's left?
Big Dragon Blade.
Yeah, going into that, even though they were able to take down the Sojourn, they didn't have a chance with the Blade going in and just not being ready for it. Looking at this, we still did, unfortunately, not get any value out of Sigma's lift there. So we're only kind of living on the Gates right here. But Gates can win a fight on its own. And that's one of the things that many people in the Overwatch community specifically know.
So we're gonna have to push with Gates here. We have less than a minute remaining, but first point is so difficult to get through. Yep, here comes the Gates. We're gonna have to get really aggressive at this. Try to force out that Transcendence here. If they can get the Transcendence out with this Gates, then that means there's free reign for the overclock. Down goes the Sojourn. This is all the better for them to try to bait out Transcendence. Picks 2 is a... Oh no, it looks like ONU is getting a bit better of it. It's just the Kiri left, I think. Oh, Kiri and Sig, and that's all that is needed. Valpo has less than 10 seconds left starting now. Gonna have to touch, gonna have to make something get done, and I simply just don't think we're gonna get to. Someone has to get on the cart right about now. That's it. Yeah, we have a touch. Genji had to dash in to stop the Sig C9. That lift on Sig does actually lift you high enough to C9 you off the cart. And
Sam PT also going down, Lil Flap's going down, and that timer is almost over.
Yep, this first corner on Circuit Royale is incredibly difficult for the offensive team. So Valpo is just simply gonna have to do it better. This is not a great push for Valpo, but it's not impossible to defend this.
Very difficult though, and there is going to be little, if any, swaps. So the characters they choose, they better be confident in. This is not the time to pull out some random character that you think might work only slightly or anything like that.
Definitely not the time for niche pockets, because this is a thing. You have to be confident enough to hold multiple fights. Niche picks like that can generally get 1 to 2 fights off, but depending on how niche, you might just get counterpicked. and you're so far away from your spawn when they're so close, you can't afford to get counterpicked here.
The only
So,
time that I think that they can afford even a single character swap is if it's one at a time. And frankly, honest, I'm still
oh
not
yeah.
liking this Hanzo. Really
Um,
giving much. Um,
I think the Hanzo in theory on this map is an okay pick. It just hasn't been getting much value against what they're running. The Sig shield's covering them quite a lot. It is putting a decent amount of pressure on them, but you know, at the end of the day, pressure isn't going to win you games. Eventually, you do have to simply get the kill.
Widowmaker coming through, looking for an early pick for
Nice
ONU.
body shot though. I mean, it is a Widow versus Hanzo, which does lean in the Widow's favor, so we're gonna see what can happen. And they trade!
Trade right there.
That's actually bad for Balpo, because that Widow's gonna be back so much sooner than the Hanzo.
Unfortunately, there is a rock going down.
And down goes the Sig. This is desperation mode for Balpo. What do you do? Do you even get to do anything? Swaps coming in for just simply faster DPS, try to get somewhere. We see the soldier come in. We see the Malga just to try to run back, and there it is. That is round 3. ONU.
GG's for today's GLEC game.
Mhm.
We will have a league game going on later. There was some good plays. I do like what I saw from Varsity as well as ONU. Some very good
Of
plays.
course, yeah, there were very good plays. I loved watching these plays. These were very good, and as you mentioned before, we do have some league coming up at 3 p.m. or at least 3 p.m. Central. So make sure to tune back in for that. So you can get some more Valpo esports later.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
for watching.